Every day, from the morning till the evening, our hearts, our minds, our thoughts, our prayers are with our brothers and sisters in Israel. The pain they're suffering, the worry, the fear, those that are mourning, those that are bereaving for people that were kidnapped. It's just been so hard for all of us. But this week's Torah portion is the portion of Noach. And God tells Noach, the first thing, Bo ala teva, come to the teva. Teva means the ark. But the rabbis saying, the Baal Shem Tov elaborates this, that the word teva also means the words. And what God's telling Noach is that when you're overwhelmed by the flooding waters of the world, by the craziness, by the apathy, by the cheering of terrorists and murderers, then find inspiration in the words of Torah. And that's what we're going to try to do today. You know, the Zohar tells us and asks the question, why are the floods? This week's Torah portion is Noach, where we learn about the floods. And why are the floods called the Mei Noach, the waters of Noach? It wasn't Noach's fault. Noach was the righteous one. It should have been called the waters of those in the generation, not of him. And the Zohar says something very powerful. That the reason is that because Noach didn't care enough to change the people and change their ways and have an impact in them. And because Noach didn't care enough, therefore, in a certain sense, it's called Mei Noach, the waters of Noach, because he takes some of the blame. Moses, on the other hand, the greatest leader of the Moses cared about the Jewish people. And when the Jewish people were going to be destroyed, Moses turns to God and says, no, you can't do this. If not, I'm out. Either you look after them or I'm gone. Tell us the rabbis that we have to learn not from Noach, who didn't care enough to change him, but we have to learn from Moshe. There's a famous parable that the rabbis give us. Imagine you're in your home and it's freezing cold and you're all sitting in your dining room. There's two things you could do. You could put on a fur coat, or you could take some piece of wood and put it in the fireplace and warm up the fireplace. What's the difference? When you put on a fur coat, you're going to be warm. But those around you, they won't be warm. They're still going to be cold. But if you put wood in the fireplace, then not only will you be warm, but those around you will be warm. My friends, this is the most critical time for the Jewish people. This is the time not to put on a fur coat, but this is the time to put wood in the firewood. This is not the time to say, I'm safe, I'm okay. But this is the time to care enough to scream, to cry, to make a difference. In every single what way we could, spiritually through doing more mitzvahs, if it's lighting candles and wrapping tefillin, or politically, or financially, or emotionally. There's so many ways that we could help. But the message the rabbis are telling us is that we should not learn from Noach. In fact, the rabbis tell us something more. God tells Noach, Asei lecha teva, build for yourself a teva. He doesn't say, hire somebody to build it. He says, build it yourself. Because God was telling Noach in a time of crisis, you don't rely on someone else. You have to do it yourself. And some of the famous rabbis say even more, that God told Noach that he had to pay for the teva with his own money. And the reason is very simple, because when you don't care enough to do it yourself, to spend it yourself, you can never rely on each other. But we, although we come from Noach and we come from Moses, we're the descendants of both. We're the progeny of Moses. And Moses is the one who left a lasting impact on the Jewish people. Because when Moses said, if you're not going to protect the Jews, I'm out. He told us and he taught us that we as Jews are one organism. Every Jew is dependent, is connected, relies on one another. And Moses taught us to be inspired in a way that we care, that we make a difference, that we don't just sit around and say, you know what, it's not hitting me here, but that we do everything we could for our brothers and sisters. This is our time to learn from Moshe and to learn from the mistakes that Noach made, and to care enough to make a difference in every way we could, till it hurts us, till it's painful for us, because we're doing as much as we could for our brothers and sisters in the time of crisis. May Hashem bless us all, that in this merit of our being one unit, the Jewish people, like one person with one heart, As we say in the end of the Amidah, Barucheinu Avinu Kulanu Ke'echad, may God bless us all as one. Think about it. I saw today John Huntsman, who was the senator of Utah and ran for president once, comes from a huge family that's been giving from their foundation for 50 years to University of Penn. And what did he say? Today or yesterday he came out, he said, our foundation will not give another dollar to Penn because they're complicit in anti-Semitism. If a Gentile could do that, could take a stand unequivocally, how much more so us, that it's our brothers and sisters. Every single human, decent being should take a stand, but how much more so when it's your family, when it's your people. Don't say it's uncomfortable for me, do it anyways. And in that will, in that merit, we've seen all the kindness, all the love that people have shown around the world to Israel. Jews from all over, from all backgrounds, from all observant levels, Ashkenazi, Sephardi, religious, secular. In that merit, God should bless us all, that we should have a decisive victory against all the ISISes of our times, if it's Hezbollah, Hamas, Iran, and we should eradicate evil from this world. May it happen speedily in our days.